Dancing with the Barenaked Ladies. Hey, everybody, I'm Hussein Madavji. Now, the Barenaked Ladies are one of the most adored bands in music, and they've invited their fans on an all-access vacation. It's the ultimate Barenaked experience. Guys, first of all, tell me about this cruise. What is it exactly?
You got people from all over the world. This is like, it's like a fan convention. And there have been some Barenaked Ladies fan conventions, but we haven't been part of them. Here we get to have a Barenaked festival, and all the fans from all over the place get to actually talk to each other face to face.
Wow, we didn't think you'd all come.
Fans showed up in droves to show their love for the Barenaked Ladies. Was there any apprehension before going on the cruise, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be with Mike?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you know, and still, you know, you spend 5 days out here, and you are kind of public property the whole time. And I kind of sometimes have to remind myself that, you know, people are here to be part of the Barenaked experience. I'm not here on vacation.
Nope, this trip is work. Well, sort of.
One great thing is just, it's like a big music festival for us, and we brought all our friends who we admire. They're our friends, and we like their music.
And they have talent.
Exactly. So it works great when those go together. And so we've been having a great time jamming with our friends, and actually I have to go right now, because I have to practice for Jason Plum's set.
While Jim heads off to rehearse, let me give you the brief history of the Barenaked Ladies. 1988, a fresh-faced Ed and Steve play their first gig together, and the story begins. 1990, the band shoots their first video for Yoko Ono in City TV's Speaker's Corner.
In this store on Young Street, yes. This independent band, the Barenaked Ladies, available only in cassette right now, is outselling bands like Michael Jackson and U2.
1991, the band's now infamous Yellow Tape is the bestseller at Toronto's biggest record store. That same year, the band releases Lovers in a Dangerous Time on the Bruce Cockburn tribute album. Later that year, Barenaked Ladies are banned from playing Toronto City Hall's New Year's party. The headlines write themselves. 1992, Gordon hits #1 in Canada. Single after single after single hypnotized the public. 1994, Maybe You Should Drive is released. Girls named Jane everywhere fun. 1996, BNL released Born on a Pirate Ship, and the lead single Shoebox is included on the Friends soundtrack. Beverly Hills 90210 also features the band in their show. 1997, the band decides to release a live album called Rock Spectac. It surprises everyone but the band by going gold in the U.S. After touring with the group, Kevin signs up on a full-time basis. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. 1998, 1 week hits #1 on Billboard's Hot 100. The album Stunt debuts at #3, but amid all the success the band faces, a heartbreaking piece of news. Kevin is diagnosed with leukemia.
I thought, you know, there's a great possibility that I was going to die. And I've totally been through the ringer, you know.
For me, it just injected such an incredible dose of reality and a jolt to my overall optimism, I think, you know.
After finding out that he was had a pretty good chance of dying at that point, we were on our way to having the biggest success of our lives. It was pretty difficult, an incredibly difficult time for all of us. We all committed ourselves to supporting him in whatever way it took for him to get better.
Later that year, Kevin made his return to the band when he joined them for the Much Music Video Awards.
I lost it during the sound check for that. That was an incredibly emotional moment to hear him play in his style. As frail as he was at that moment, it was a pretty heavy moment. 2000, the new millennium brought a new record, Maroon, and saw the band achieve top 5 status in the U.S. 2003, the ladies released the aptly titled Everything to Everyone, and again hit the top 10 on Billboard. 2006, Barenaked Ladies Are Me comes out in the fall. It's the first major release as an independent band since the Yellow Tape. I think I got it all. When you look back at your history, what are some key moments that stick out?
Steve and I started Barenaked Ladies in '88, and we did it because my high school band had agreed to play a fundraiser for a food bank, and the band broke up, and we said, you know, they called me and said, "You're still on for the fundraiser, right? We're really counting on you." And I went, "Yeah, of course I am." And I agreed to do it, and I called Steve and said, "Will you do this thing with me?" We got together for fun, did a show, had a blast, and it happened really naturally, you know? And here we are almost 20 years later, still in that same band.
Hi! We're Barenaked Ladies, and we're a little too cheap to make our own video, so here you go.
The first time the band introduced themselves to the country was through Speaker's Corner in Toronto.
Okay, what about Speaker's Corner?
Speaker's Corner was huge, man, and that was, it was just kind of a joke. I don't think we thought they'd actually play it. We thought maybe someone there would get a laugh out of it. I mean, we were put into heavy rotation on Much Music for a video we made for $1.
But mainstream attention came when former Toronto Mayor June Rowland decided to ban the Barenaked Ladies from playing a gig at City Hall on New Year's Eve simply because of their name.
June Rowlands was the one who her office had us removed from the New Year's gig, which at the time we didn't really think much about. It was like, yeah, whatever. We got another gig. We played at McMaster University in Hamilton. It was really embarrassing for us because we hadn't really, I mean, we thought the name of the band was funny, but we hadn't expected it was going to get that kind of reaction, and we also didn't want to be the poster children for anti-political correctness either.
Soon after, the ladies set their sights on the most lucrative market in the world, America.
So places like Detroit and Chicago and New York and so on, we go in every few months, play a larger venue and a larger venue again. And over that time, we were building that foundation that led to Stunt, which was a big record.
Many people down there in radio, you know, would write the band off as novelty, you know, and wouldn't support us on the radio. So we'd have to go down and play clubs and build our audience. And eventually, once we had these larger audiences, then people said, hey, there must be something to it, and they'd come on board. So, but it really took us being down there, you know, 6-7 months out of the year.
The Barenaked Ladies are passionate about their music, but like you and me, they've got their hobbies, and Steve and Ed showed us theirs. Explain this one to me.
Well, wine tasting. Wine tasting. I like wine. I know a bit about it.
Okay.
And, you know, I think fans also know that I have a passion for it, so it's an opportunity to share some of that with fans.
While on board the boat, Stephen took time out to share this passion with fans by hosting a wine tasting.
How does this fit in with the Barenaked Ladies?
Well, it's a true bacchanalian pleasure, right? Music and wine and women, and it's part of, you know, the sensual pleasures of being in rock and roll. That's what I'm saying. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I think this is a really interesting moment for these fans to get to know who you are.
Yeah, maybe. Or whether they'll actually see the real me or not.
And if you call, I will answer.
When you walk away from this, if you can start to teach yourself how to identify the components of the wine, for me, that makes that one of the most enjoyable parts of drinking wine.
How much do you love wine?
I love.
Are you passionate about it?
Yeah, I am very passionate about it. I think I like wine. I like food. I like the fact that these are things that are ephemeral. That they can, you know, as soon as you open that bottle and you drink it, it's gone. And there is no other real art form that disappears like that. And so you make a real commitment to it when you start it.
And that's what Stephen really wants fans to appreciate about the wine. That and...
You know, people pretend when they're talking in that hoity-toity language about wine that there's no alcohol in it, or there's no pleasure in the buzz of it either.
Now, if you don't have a taste for wine, Ed offered us some insight into his hobby. That's right, video games.
There are many titans of rock here, and we're having the Guitar Hero tournament.
Is this your favorite video game?
It is my favorite video game.
Is this your thing? Because I know Stephen has his wine tasting thing. Is this like his video game is yours?
Yeah, and I'd like to think that in my own way, it's just as sophisticated as Stephen's wine tasting.
Absolutely. Right.
Like this song, for example, it's a fine year.
Fine.
This was a great year. I'm detecting hints of leather. It's got an overtone of smoke, and there's an aftertaste of Top Hat on it.
I saw you perform up there. You're pretty good. You got the Guitar Hero skills.
I do it professionally.
I realize that. But does it take a professional guitarist to kick ass at a game like this?
Honestly, you know what? When you get to the higher levels, it's actually counterintuitive somewhat.
Ed makes his love of Guitar Hero known whenever he's on stage.
I understand that you talk about this video game in your concerts.
Well, because I end up playing it till the moment before I go on stage. And then I'm like, oh, I couldn't finish Freebird.
Longest no streak, 300. Sit down, Mr. Wade. You have a hobby.
As the man to beat on the cruise, Ed knows he's gonna have some stiff competition.
People have been practicing. They put the word out that this was happening, and people started really boning up
For the cruise.
on their Megadeth and their Black Sabbath to get ready for the Barenaked Ladies cruise.
So we've uncovered the Barenaked Ladies. Now it's time to get to know their fans. Really get to know their fans.
Next. How many people outside of here, you know, gonna get naked with the ladies?